All right, let's talk about a simple change that could totally revolutionize your golf game. Most of us, and I've been guilty of this too, we just grab a sleeve of balls based on price or maybe what our favorite pro plays. But what if that choice, that one simple choice, is actually holding you back? Today we're going to walk through, step by step, how to find the ball that is genuinely perfect for your swing.
So let's dive right in with a mistake that is so common. In fact, there's a very good chance the ball you're playing right now isn't just a neutral piece of equipment, it could be actively working against you.
Get this, an estimated 90% of golfers are using a ball that actually makes them worse. I mean, just let that sink in. That is a staggering number. That's 9 out of every 10 people you see on the course potentially playing with one hand tied behind their back, all because of the ball they chose.
So you have to ask yourself, are you in that 90%? Is the very ball you're trusting to help you score lower actually making the game harder than it needs to be? Let's figure it out.
So what on earth is causing this huge mismatch for so many players? Well, it all comes down to one word: compression. It's the single most important factor in a golf ball, and it's the one most of us are completely ignoring. But once you understand it, everything just clicks. Basically, every single golf ball has a compression rating. Think of it as how hard or soft the core of the ball is. A high compression ball is firmer, and you need a really fast swing to squeeze it properly at impact and unlock its potential. The whole game is just matching the ball's compression to the force of your swing.
And here's the best part. The fix is incredibly simple. All you need is a rough idea of your driver swing speed. If you swing under 85 miles an hour, you're looking for a low compression ball, something in that 40 to 50 range. If you're a bomber swinging over 105, you need that high compression, 90-plus ball. It's just about finding your lane on this chart.
Okay, so that's the theory, right? Match your speed to the compression. But does it really matter out there on the course? Oh, you bet it does. Let's look at a head-to-head test that shows exactly what happens when you get this right and when you get it really wrong.
In this corner, we have the heavyweight champion, the Titleist Pro V1. It's a high compression ball clocking in around 87, and it's built for tour-level swing speeds. And in the other corner, we have the Callaway Super Soft. It's on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, with a super low compression of 40, designed for us mere mortals with slower swings.
First up, let's see what happens when we use a slower swing speed to hit both of these balls. You know, the kind of swing you'd see from a typical amateur golfer.
And the results? Wow, it wasn't even a fair fight. For the slower swinger, the correctly matched Callaway Super Soft was longer with every single club. It produced higher ball speeds, it launched better, it was just superior in every way. The premium Pro V1, for this player, it was a total dud. It just couldn't get activated.
And this is just so important to understand. For a slower swinger, playing the ball that's marketed as the best actually gives you worse results. You lose distance, sure, but you also don't generate enough spin with your irons to actually hold a green. It's a recipe for higher scores.
Okay, so now let's flip the script. What happens when we have a much faster swinger? The kind of player the Pro V1 was designed for hit these same two balls.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Off the driver, the Pro V1 was a monster, a full 16 yards longer. But wait, look at the 7-iron. The Super Soft actually carried farther. So that's better, right? Well, not so fast. The reason it flew farther is because it had way too little spin. It would be like trying to land a plane with no brakes. It would just shoot over the green and never stop.
So the real takeaway here is that the correctly matched Pro V1 provided the right kind of performance. It maximized distance where you want it, off the tee, but it gave you that crucial, high-launching, fast-stopping spin with your scoring clubs. The mismatched Super Soft just couldn't keep up. Its core was literally overwhelmed by the speed.
Okay, so once you've used your swing speed to get into the right compression ballpark, you're already way ahead of the curve. But we can fine-tune it even more by looking at things like feel, cost, and my personal favorite, consistency.
You know, a lot of people worry that a high compression ball will feel like hitting a rock, but that's old school thinking. These days, thanks to some pretty amazing cover technology, manufacturers can essentially sprinkle a little magic on the outside of the ball. They can give you a firm, high-speed core that still feels wonderfully soft when you're chipping and putting.
And listen, this does not mean you have to spend a fortune to get the right ball. What you're really paying for with a premium model is that last little bit of perfection, tighter quality control, which means your shots fly more consistently. But a budget ball with the right compression can give you almost identical distance and spin performance for a fraction of the cost. Now, here is probably the most overlooked secret weapon in golf: consistency. Once you find a ball that works for you, stick with it. When you play the same ball every single round, you start to learn its behavior intimately. You know exactly how far your 8-iron flies. You know how it's going to react in the wind, and your distance control on the putting green becomes second nature. It's a massive advantage.
Okay, let's bring it all home. We're going to put everything we've talked about into a simple, 4-step action plan you can use to find your perfect ball, maybe even this weekend.
It honestly is this simple. Step 1, know your speed. Step 2, find your compression range from that chart. Step 3, grab a few sleeves in that range and see which one feels best to you. And step 4, commit to it. That's it. That is the whole process to hitting the ball farther, stopping it faster, and finally shooting lower scores.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. After seeing the data and understanding how this works, you've got to ask yourself an honest question. Is the ball you're playing right now really helping your game? Or is it secretly costing you strokes on every single hole? The answer just might change your game for good.